Hello and welcome to Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast about movies. Each episode we talk about a specific movie, and we'll get to that movie in a little bit. But first, thank you to everyone who voted on the fan vote. A winner has been decided, and it will be revealed at the end of this episode. Oh my god, what could it be? But yes, if you want to add your movie to the fan vote, you can always swing over to the Discord, link down in the description of most episodes when I remember, and talk in the movie stuff section and say, hey, I want to recommend this movie for the vote. First, new stuff gets on there first, so now's your time. Or you can comment on the latest episode of on the podcast on the YouTube channel. That's also a pretty quick way to do it as well. You could also comment on Spotify, and I'm pretty sure Apple Podcasts at this point as well. If you want to do that, go ahead. And while you're at it, why don't you rate us out of 5 or leave a review or like the video? That's always appreciated. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves before we talk about the movie. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I'm here with...
Callus wearing a red panda mask.
Taymation, no mask.
Confused, ray of positivity. No masks here either.
It's a reference to the movie.
Well, duh, but that was just very descriptive, Callus.
Yeah, it was.
That's just my favorite animal. I just picked my favorite animal.
Oh, I should have done like lamb because my name means lamb in Hebrew, and they had a lamb mask.
They did.
I'm
have
just not as
ironies.
cool.
You're rightfully the lamped mask raven.
Bless.
Well,
Anyway,
see, I don't even need to choose an animal because I already have one. So,
Yeah,
good to
ferret.
that is true. A cat.
and Tay
Wow.
can be the bearded dragon.
Dragon.
Yeah, I do have a bearded dragon. I have a lot of animals though, so
Pick your poison.
yeah, I could be a different one each day.
Every time you enter the house, you have a different mask on. Wow, there sure are a lot of these guys.
There's a clip of me running to the car and quickly swapping out the masks, going, "Haha, they'll never know."
So just FYI, I think my allergies are acting up. They haven't acted up this bad in forever. So if I snort or whatever, it is from that. Or if I sound different, it's because of that. So just an FYI for the episode. I thought I was sick, but it's actually just ragweed. Yay.
Love it.
Mhm. So that was me last week and probably again this week. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
And then also, I just got my computer back from the repair shop, so hopefully, knock on wood, nothing bad happens today, huh?
Yeah. Did they figure out
Hopefully.
what was wrong with it?
It was something with the BIOS.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
The
Of
BIOS.
BIOS.
The BIOS, yeah. Apparently, it was way out of date, and it was causing RAM issues because things weren't. Yeah, you know what?
That happens.
Things are incompatible.
Yeah,
I'm sorry I asked.
I'm kind of over the IT mumbo jumbo for today, but let's talk about
Don't
something that
blame
has nothing to do with IT, huh? Ray, get us going.
All right. So the movie that we watched was one that I picked called You're Next from 20. I've seen conflicting years. I've seen 2011 and I've seen 2013. So in between 2010 and 2015, this movie was made. But You're Next, it's about a family, the Davison family. They were under attack during a wedding anniversary getaway. And the gang of mysterious killers learn that one of the victims harbors a secret talent for fighting back. Director Adam Wingard, writer Simon Barrett, stars Sharni Vinson, Joe Swanberg, and AJ Bowen. All pretty B-list people. I've not really heard of them since, but I didn't think it was too terrible. Like their acting. I thought the main chick was pretty badass, but yeah, so there we go to start it out.
Before we started, some clarification.
Technically,
Did,
we've already
released-
started.
Okay, well, fair. So 2011 was the Toronto Film Festival debut, and then 2013 is when it got its release in the US and probably everywhere else.
Well, thank
Gotcha.
you, Callus, for that clarity. That makes a lot more sense.
You're very welcome. So both are true.
All
Huh,
right,
that's so
put on your
cool.
Sherlock Holmes mask.
Right?
Can I
By
just wear the
Jove,
hat over my
Yeah, of
red panda
course,
mask?
obviously.
Okay.
You have to have a pipe too.
He's cracked the case. All
Done.
right, we're good.
Noise. So yeah, what one thing that I noticed right off the bat is the cinematography. Loved it throughout the whole movie. I thought that was fantastic. Like the use of colors and how sharp and like clear the picture was, and like I don't know, different cool ways that they shot things, like the light going through the lock on the door.
Yeah,
Um
that's the one I definitely did notice.
yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah, that was one thing that really popped out to me like from the beginning. That and just the Foley artist did a really good job on, the sounds of like the creaking of the stairs and like the doors creaking and footsteps and the glass and everything. I thought that they did a really great job with the sound for that too.
Yeah, I thought a lot of the
I can,
framing was well done, especially when the first guy gets headshotted with the crossbow. The
Yeah.
framing to like not show like what had happened to him, even though you kind of know what happened, but the framing to not really show him. He's just kind of like standing there wobbling around, and then eventually it pans up to show he's been hit in the
Mhm.
head. Like I thought
Mhm.
the framing of a lot of the scenes was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with all that. I do like the cinematography. The one negative thing I will say is like during that panic scene, after the dinner when more shots started coming in, like that camera was way shakier than I would have liked it to be.
That's
But
fair.
that's really
Well,
a minor gripe.
Yeah,
I
that
didn't
does.
have a problem with the rest of the movie.
No, I mean I agree with that because the shaky cam in this movie was egregious at times where
Mhm.
there was moments where like the mom's just laying on the bed and the dad's like talking to her and like the camera was like just moving all around. I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, even though it's a nice framing and whatever, I think they needed to calm down on the shaky cam for a lot of these scenes that are just like inside the house and nothing's really happening.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't notice it for that scene.
Oh, I noticed it. I noticed it a lot of scenes. Honestly, there was just a lot of scenes that didn't really feel like they needed the handheld camera. Like I understand what they're going for. Like, oh, they want to give like the vibe of the room. Like, oh, everyone's kind of nervous, moving around, jittering
Mhm.
around, right? But for me personally, it just is more of an annoyance because the scene is very calm and there's really nothing that like nothing's happening in the scene to justify the amount of movement that the camera has on it.
I think that's fair. How did you guys feel about the acting? I know, like, I did guess I didn't realize going into it. First, this is only the second time I've watched it. I watched it back when it first came out. I didn't
Right.
realize that there weren't very many, known actors. Like the dad looked familiar to me, but that was like it.
Yeah, I think
The
if you look at the
dad's
credits, he had like a special credit because I think he was one of the actual
known actors.
known actors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Oh,
was crazy. But what did you like? How did you guys think that they did
well,
overall,
I think
being like the actors?
here's where I turn into the Ray of this episode. Who
Uh-oh.
I thought
Yeah.
that it was either the writing or the acting or a combination of the two was just so bad in this.
Yeah,
There were scenes or line deliveries that I was audibly laughing at because it was
too.
just so dumb.
me too.
Like there's just a scene where the it's like during the scene where the arrows are coming in and the girl's like, "Oh my god, get down!" And I'm like, "Please."
Right.
And I think it is definitely a combination of like the writing too, because there were some there's some lines that were said in this movie where I'm like, there's no way someone could say that like and not get a laugh out of it because like I don't know. I mean, obviously this is a very much like a B movie, like cheap budget, but
Yeah.
it's just one
Well,
of
it
those.
was like a student film,
Well,
like
there you go.
basically.
Well, there you go. I
I
mean,
mean, I don't think it was, but like, I mean, it was a film festival. It wasn't like put together by a studio, big studio or anything. So
I mean,
Yeah.
for what it's worth, a lot of like the like a lot of it is high quality, but the writing is not one of those aspects.
Yeah.
So this movie had a budget of $1 million, and I'm guessing that half
Dang.
of that went towards getting this mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And the one B actor that everybody knew.
Yeah, he was worth 250,000, so they only had another 250 to work with.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much about this movie that's so well done. Like the practical effects for like the blood and the gore and stuff like that. Like all that looks great. It's just, I wish that the writing was that same level because it pulled me out of the movie so many times throughout it, and so did a lot of the acting too. Like I think I agree with Ray. Like the main character girl is great. She's a badass. She definitely was acting the best in the movie, even if she's not a known actress. But yeah, I was just wishing that everyone else's performances or the writing was just as strong as the visuals and the practical stuff that they were doing in the movie.
I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
the scene at the dinner table when everyone just starts freaking the F out, I started just dying laughing. I was like, wow, I forgot how bad that was for sure.
That was a lot of
but
chaos.
so much chaos, and the one chick just constantly yelling, "We're gonna fucking die!" Like, shut up.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're not helping things at all. Like that scene, and then the scene where their sister is like, she's like, "I'm a track star," and like,
Oh, yeah.
takes off her earrings and like, runs to her death. I thought that was hilarious too, that happened in slow motion and they're all being so serious about it, and just like, give it a rest. But yeah, I don't know. The practical effects of this, I thought that they did a really good job for what it's worth. And I'm not
it's
a
worth
huge
a
gore
lot.
person.
No, yeah. Well, that's the thing that surprised me. This is such a violent and kind of disturbing movie. I was like, wow, Ray picked this? Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, the most surprising repick.
Yes, I have my moments. But I think if it didn't involve such a strong, badass woman, like just taking over and surprising the fuck out of everybody, I don't think I would have liked it as much.
Yeah.
But
That's really the moment where I was like, I don't know if I like this movie. I don't. And then second, she's like, oh, she's a badass. Okay, this is kind of cool.
exactly, like okay, like let's go. And her freaking boyfriend was such a pussy. I remembered that, but didn't remember how much of a pussy he actually was.
What kind of name
That
is
was-
Crispin anyway?
Right?
Crispin.
Okay.
I've heard it before, but yeah.
That was one of the
Must be
barriers for me.
Canadian.
I'm like, Crispin? Name
That was your barrier.
name him like Caspian. Like give him like a cooler
Right?
name, right? Crispin?
No, he doesn't deserve Caspian. Are you
I
joking?
mean, Crispin Glover.
Crispin.
Yeah. That's his name, right? Crispin Glover.
don't
It is,
know.
yeah.
No, this guy needed like Crisco or something.
Well,
Yeah.
look,
extra stupid.
Crispin Glover didn't have a choice over his name when he was born, okay? The writers
That's fair.
gave this guy the name Crispin, and they
Yeah,
wanted
'cause
me
they-
to
they're
take it
big fans of
serious.
Crispin Glover.
Oh, I'm sure they're huge fans.
They tried to get Crispin Glover, but he went, "Nah, I'm good."
Oh my gosh.
He was like, "You already got a guy named Crispin in here."
Yeah, because we love you so much. Yeah, it's a little much. I'm good.
I don't know. Call me out in the comments. The name Crispin, kind of dumb.
It's not
No,
it.
is. It is a little bit dumb. Yes.
We apologize to all of the Crispins out there.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
The name, no, I can't even. It's not good. It's not good. Oh man.
But yeah, going
Yeah.
back to kind of the disturbing nature of this movie, I don't know if I really wanted to watch a family like dying one by one and like the emotional trauma that they were obviously going
Yeah.
through. I felt like it was a bit much. Like, and this is coming from me that like I watch these kind of movies like every week, and like most movies that you watch is like, oh, it's a group of teenagers, they're friends, or oh, it's a group of people out in the forest, but you don't get a lot of the family dynamic. Like, I guess the Evil Dead whatever the latest one was like a family dynamic, which had its like kind of disturbing moments for sure. But this one kind of goes above and beyond, where it's like, okay, the mom is watching her daughter die, and then she's like in the bed and she gets axed in the face, and everyone has to, find that. And then like towards the end, when the guy has to like, or the guy is revealed to be the an evil person, he stabs his brother, and I just thought that scene was just so unnecessarily like disturbing. Like he just learns that his wife dies, and then his brother's like, oh yeah, also I'm gonna jab 5 screwdrivers into your chest. I'm like, what do we like? This is just going above and beyond right now.
Yeah, that guy was just plain psychotic. Like, and the face that he made when his dad was like reaching for him as he's like bleeding out will live rent free in my head. Like just the, oh my god, ew, don't touch me, you're bleeding everywhere. Ugh.
Yeah,
that's the one thing that was like not believable to me. Like, yeah, their motivation is to get like a huge inheritance, but to go through like killing all of their family members, that's insane. That's like
It never
and
would
there's
work.
two of the brothers like agree to that. That's just astronomically
Mind-boggling.
insane.
Well, they
Right,
they
if
would
it was
also
just
never get away with
one-
it. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
No. Well, and then like the whole, it's a dumb motivation. Well, it's 'cause, like we hate these people. It's like, well, no, you hate your one brother who's an asshole, and rightfully so. But like your parents are like the kindest
They're
people.
sweet people.
Yeah, they're like been this just showing like these are the kindest people, and it's like
Yeah,
they gotta
the
die.
dad was always supportive and stuff.
Yeah.
The mom, okay, let's be real though. The mom was the same age as all the other women in this.
Oh yeah,
movie.
I hadn't
Like-
noticed that. She was like so young. I was like,
When-
wait, she's the mom?
Yeah, with her
Yeah.
hair down too. I'm like, she could just be another like girlfriend or wife here, and I'd be like, yeah, that
Yeah.
tracks. Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. I feel like we didn't get enough backstory of anybody for us to really like feel for this, like the parents, I guess. Like,
You find out
We
the
kind of
one
did.
girl's a track star right before she dies. Like,
right?
And that
Like-
the dad worked as a like in HR for the whatever company, the military contract company.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's like all we got.
And Crispin was just a
Professor.
weirdo, a professional
Oh, he was
weirdo.
like a failed. He failed. What is it that he failed? Some paper.
he failed getting
Yeah.
a normal aged girlfriend for his age.
Yeah. There it is. Yeah.
But yeah, like, yeah.
So do you guys think that he also planned to kill his girlfriend
yes,
and he was just lying at the end?
Oh yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely.
Should she have
Don't-
killed him at the end? No, no. But he definitely meant to have for her to die during that whole debacle.
I don't know
yeah.
if he actually did. I think it does make sense. I think the one brother didn't care because he's an idiot, but it did make sense. They did need somebody to be like, yeah, some psychos killed us. Otherwise everyone go, oh well, it was the brothers hired these guys because they want all the inheritance. Like
Well, at that point,
they need her.
the police would have found like the jamming signal in the one guy's car. They would have,
Yeah.
they would have. Yeah, I just.
Oh yeah,
I just
was
feel
bad.
like
It
I don't
was
think
bad
in
plan.
any world this would have gone the way that they wanted it to.
No, but I do think they did need her, and I don't think Crispin was gonna kill her.
Well, I mean, at the end he definitely wasn't, but I felt like he was like, well, if it is what it is, if she gets in the
Right.
way. I just find it a little bit dumb that she
Oh, he did-
that she stabs him at the end, because I feel
Yeah.
like just like knock him out, tie him up, and he will like this guy is such a a little bitch,
Pushover.
like he'll crack before they even get out like the handcuffs. Like,
Yeah.
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 At the same time, though, she'd just been through so fucking much. I wouldn't want to hear it either.
yeah,
I was
but
just
now
like,
now she goes to jail for killing him.
yeah, that's the only sucky part. I mean, she
Like
could
everyone
say
else,
it
she
was
has a plausible
self-defense.
defense. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like when the end credits started, like there was a picture of her, and at the bottom it said suspect.
Yeah. Well.
So she's like literally the only suspect in
Well,
all
that-
the murders.
And that also
Yeah.
infers that she is going to be blamed for everything.
yeah. Ugh, that's awful.
There should have been
yeah.
a sequel where she becomes like the psychopath killer.
Ooh. Your
I
next.
did. So I was hoping Crispin he would get the axe, like he'd come through the front door and get the axe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping for that too.
But they needed to
Right, and
reveal
then-
that he was in like completely in on it.
Well, at that point, we knew he was. And that's why I was like, come in the front door. We've set this thing up. And then they use it on the cop at the end. And I was like, I mean, yeah, but come on. Give us. I wanted somebody who deserved it to
that's
be
fair.
the blunt of that.
I just find it funny that they kept using the same broken window to go through into the house every single
Right?
time. Like
Yeah.
no one even tried the front door after the razor wire got snapped.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that Kelly chick, she was just going off the fucking rails. I feel like that would be the most believable like reaction from all of this.
Yes.
Like just going absolutely hysterical and
Yeah, at least the one that ran
running.
outside after she found the dead body upstairs. The dead.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was
yeah.
after she's found the killer under the bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she already knew about the dead mom, but then she saw the killer in the bed and freaked out and ran, which, yeah.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
She made it
And
pretty
she didn't
far.
tell anyone about it.
Well,
Nope.
no.
I probably wouldn't either. I'd be like, I'm out of here.
They figured it out. It's fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, if she had kept running, she probably would have made it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Like,
say, if she
she's
hadn't stopped.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she stopped at the house and like I don't know. I guess after, like, I feel like after the first like couple bangs on the window, I would be like, all right, fuck it, run, keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you would know, like, because he's sitting right there. Like, obviously, if he's not answering, he's dead. Like yeah.
Yeah. It did take me a while to figure out why they killed the neighbors. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, they wanted just to be able to, like, yeah, there were some killers on the loose and they were killing everybody.
But why are
When
No,
these
did
there's
you
no
all,
bodies
rhyme and
dead?
reason to it,
Why are these bodies dead like 3 days earlier than the other ones?
right? Well, that's because, again, they're just crazy killers.
Oh,
they just
they're,
go
they're
around.
so random and quirky.
Well, it's because
No,
nobody was at the other house to kill them early or late, at the same time. So
Was that giant "Your next in blood" necessary?
Yes,
Yep.
they were practicing for the main event.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I gotta say, how like sad is it for the first girl who got killed at the very beginning of the movie? It's like she just had like the most mediocre sex of her life and just
Right.
like, oh, well, guess I'll die now.
No one should go out that way.
Yeah, I mean that was another thing that I found really weird was one, like the age difference there, astronomical. Two,
Mhm.
Well, that's
she
'cause
looked
I think-
she looked
Well,
like
they
she was
explain
like
it.
drugged up, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I
She
Yeah.
probably was because
I was-
they explained it that like it was another professor dating a student, like left his wife for a student.
right, and it's just like I don't know. It's
Yeah.
just one of those moments where it's like, do we need this at the beginning of the movie? Like, do we need the sex
Yeah.
scene? Like, we could just have them in the house together. Like, unnecessary.
Yeah.
There
I
has to
mean,
be a
it's a
sex scene.
yep. I was
We
gonna say,
need
it's a
boobies.
scary movie. There's got to be boobs.
Well, they
Yeah.
could have done
Yeah.
the sex scene later with the brother and his wife, like a normal relationship.
Nah, that's boring.
No, you need a college-aged woman who's regretting her life choices.
Clearly.
And then we needed
And
to
then-
see her die.
Yeah, and then you
Well, you don't,
get,
you don't see her die. You just see her dead.
yeah, it's true.
I think that like the "you're next" on the window is effective for sure, and like the "you're next" in the bedroom too. Like I think that's effective.
Mhm.
I don't know if you name the movie after that line.
What would you have
Of course
named it
you
then?
do.
What would you have called this movie?
Probably would have called it like Three Beasts. And
I would
well,
have called it Weekend at
You're
the
done.
Davisons.
hold on, it's a good name because you think it's for the three masked men, but it's actually the three people inside the house who are in on it.
Hey.
There was on.
I
Oh
do
yeah,
like
Z
that.
was in on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could like play like you could do a lot with that actually. That good job, Yem.
And she wanted to write me off, guys. Can you believe that?
You thought about it a lot. You've been thinking about this since you watched the movie, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's because this movie I'll be honest, this movie kind of annoyed me a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't say. I'm kind of surprised at how annoyed it made you. I thought you would actually enjoy it.
I mean, I enjoyed aspects of it for sure. Like, I'm not like completely hating it. There's some things that just seem very easy to get a win on, and they didn't reach that point with a few things.
That's fair.
Like, if this whole movie was muted and like there was no talking at all, it'd probably go up by at least a point. And honestly,
Yeah, man, you really hated that writing, didn't you?
I really hated the writing. And you can give the excuse, oh, it was a student film. I don't care. Students make good things all the time. Come on.
No, they
That
do.
is
They
true.
do.
I
my
wasn't
God.
I wasn't saying that to like call you out, Tay. I was just saying in general.
Yeah.
So when did you guys like figure it out?
Actually, that was the first thing my other half said on the bed was that Crispin was in on it.
Yeah,
That's
he was a
like
dead giveaway.
as soon as the dinner scenes happened and she realized that his name was Crispin, she's like, yeah, he's in on it. I was like, you're probably right.
I didn't.
I
wasn't-
didn't. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
not realize that at all until the reveal.
Yeah, I was
And
just
honestly,
kind
the
of
brother,
enjoying the show.
the younger brother and V definitely were sketchy throughout the whole movie too.
They were.
I feel like I could have probably figured it out by
Yeah, them I
halfway
figured
through.
they probably were early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured Crispin was in on it once it was revealed that, what was his name in Z? Where like I was like, okay,
Joe?
well,
Oh,
Crispin's
Felix.
Felix. I was
name?
like, yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, Crispin's probably in on this. He's gonna show up at the end and be like, yeah, I was in on it.
Well, yeah, I think that's a big dead giveaway too, is the fact that he didn't even show him for half this movie. He was just gone.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
like you can make the argument like, oh well, he got down the street and he went somewhere to get help.
yeah.
It's like, yeah,
For a
right.
second, for a second, when she got the text message, like when she was hiding, that the alert went through, I thought maybe it was him and he, was contacting her, but for a second, and I was just like, oh no, it's just the text. Okay, yeah, it's him.
You just
That
reminded
is true.
me.
I did grow a bit suspicious when he was gone for so long. Sorry, go ahead, Yemmy.
Well, you just reminded me, Tay, that scene in particular also annoyed me because why did Felix turn off the jammer? He knew that there was still someone left in the house.
Oh, well, that's he turned off the jammer after that. Text messages could still go through the jammer is kind of what they were talking about, or she mentioned at one
No,
point.
he turned it off. He just turned it off.
Yeah, he did.
If he had
Well,
kept
I
it
thought it
on,
was
she never
after.
would have gotten the confirmation at least.
I thought
No,
she
he
got
turned-
confirmation.
No,
before.
the confirmation happened before. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
turned it off and then she got the
He turned it off later.
confirmation.
No. She
Yes.
got the confirmation when she was hiding.
No, the reason
was-
why
Yeah.
the reason why this scene annoyed me so much is because he turned off the jammer when he went out to his car, and then they walked in and they were all talking, and she got the message.
Mm.
That's why. I mean, look,
Huh.
I thought it was the other way around.
no,
Me
he,
too. That's weird.
He turned off the
know,
jammer
I-
and then she got the message. I am 99%
No,
sure
I
on
believe
this.
Yemmy. I believe Yemmy. I'm just finding it weird that both me and Tay are like thinking it was
That's why I
before.
don't believe Yemmy.
Well, we do have a fourth person here. What do you remember, Ray?
Yes, Ray.
He's on
tell
the spot.
us.
I remember.
Choose your side.
Should
Welcome
I
to the
rent-
Civil War.
Should I rent the
The
movie
Freakz
again and
Civil
skim
War.
through it?
Yeah.
I-
Well, because she
I-
did talk. She talked about to Crispin at one point that like text. Sometimes you can text like 911 and it can go through easier than like even if
Yeah.
it's jammed.
No,
So that's
no.
why.
She said you can text 911 and it will go over as a voicemail. She didn't say anything about
Mhm.
jamming.
Yeah. But I have to agree with Yemi though, because they came back inside to like talk about it, and that's when she got the text or whatever.
No, because
Mm.
Crispin like almost immediately called once it was off.
No, he called way later.
Well, yeah, that's what
When-
I'm saying.
when
That's
Felix
what I'm
was
saying
dead.
is. Yeah, Felix was dead because like I was pretty sure he turned it off, went inside, and then that's like immediately got murked.
No.
No, I
he
don't
turned it
know.
off. They went
Yeah,
inside and
and-
talked with the man in the fox mask, and that's when her behind the curtain found out that Felix and V were in on it, and then she got the text message.
No, because they were. Okay, no, I am very confused right
Wait,
now.
hold on.
Me too.
I'm telling y'all. I'm telling you, I am.
could've sworn-
I am 99%
Yeah.
sure on this right now.
I could have sworn that text message happened before the jammer was turned off. Because it happened like the jammer got turned off like very much at the end, and that text message
Mm.
happened a little bit before that.
You're
I'm
misremembering
looking this up.
because the jammer turned off before all the whole camera section with the flashing light and all that. It was turned off before all that, and that was like 30 minutes left of the movie.
It was turned off that soon. I mean that.
Yeah, I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all.
I could have sworn that something happened like right near the end. It's like before the reveal that Crispin was in on it.
No.
That's what I'm trying to
Weird.
find it. Hold on.
Yeah, I would have to re-rent the movie.
Hey, do you have like the
Oh, you
movie
didn't
still?
have Peacock?
No, I do not have
No.
Peacock.
I don't have it either.
Look this up for us then.
I also rented it.
I do. Okay, then I'll look it up. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, skim through it. But yeah, I am so sure of this. It wouldn't have annoyed me as much if they had turned it off after she got the text message, but she definitely the thing was turned off before they confirmed that she was dead or like she was whatever. Because she jumps out the window, right? She jumps out the window because the guy's in the bedroom. She falls down and then goes back through the doorway, and that's when she kills that guy. And then she hides behind the curtain, and then Felix, comes back from chasing her, and he opens
Wait,
up
I
his
still have-
trunk and he turns off the thing and throws it back in, and they all walk into the house and have that conversation.
That checks out in my mind.
I have 180 seconds worth of ads, so give me just a few.
I actually have it
Holy
up right
jeez.
now.
I mean, it's not like really that's that important anyway.
Oh, I think
It
it is.
is.
I think it is
It
important
is.
because it makes the movie dumber, in my opinion. Like it makes
That is
it
true, yeah.
worse. Because why in the world, knowing that she is still out there, why would he turn that freaking thing off? It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he did turn it off knowing she was out there. Hold on, I've got it here. Takes the crossbow from the what's his face. Does the there's the blend. Okay, here's the blender.
No, you're way too far now.
Yeah, that's too
Yeah,
far.
yeah.
This is a Film Freak's first, like rewatching a segment of the movie live
Yeah.
while it's being recorded.
This could be hell to edit.
This is gonna be hard to find. Hold on.
No, it's not gonna be
Shall
that
we
hard.
talk about
Just skim through
something else?
and go to the part where she jumps out the
Okay.
window, and then you can kind of just slowly inch around
Yeah,
there.
that's what I'm doing. There's where he kills the bro.
Should we talk about something else while he checks that?
Yes, but the problem is right when we start talking about it, he'll be like, "I found it."
Basically, yeah.
Wait, Callus, go ahead.
Okay, so here's
Oh,
where
see, I told
it's
you.
revealed. No, here's where it's revealed they're part of it, because that's where the dad dies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's
That's
not
too
far enough.
far
No,
back.
that's
So
not
I'm just
far
kind
enough.
of scrubbing through
Or, I mean-
here.
Okay.
Callus, bring up your point. Tay, silently look for right now.
Oh, I didn't really have any point. I was just asking if we should like continue talking about something else in the meantime.
Well, what would you like to talk about?
The music. What do you guys think about the music in this movie? Besides the record that kept repeating.
It was very synth. I liked that part. There's lots of synth.
The groovy song or whatever
Yeah,
at the neighbor's house.
that was
And
the
it
best.
like nobody turned it down, and like none of the killers was like, "Oh, this is too loud. Let me turn this down a tad."
Right, that was so loud.
I guess just to fool people if they come and knock on the door. Like, oh, they can't hear
maybe.
anyway. 'Cause it worked on Erin when she went over there for milk. So
Yeah.
True.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought that the soundtrack kind of reminded me of like a John Carpenter vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
I just you know, I just don't like musical cues for jump scares because
That's
I
fair.
I feel like it's like on top like that's a cheap way to get like a scare, and also when unnatural noises happen. Like I know it wasn't in this movie, but it's kind of like the same thing where it's like, all right, so we have it's almost like Get Out when the person passes in the background of the scene and they do like this giant piano like
Yeah.
jump scare. The same thing was happening here where it's like, okay, like I'm very easily startled, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like 6 times through this movie they were just like, let's just slam the keyboard as hard as we can, throw it down the fucking stairs. And I'm like, there's nothing even happening in the scene. Well, for most of them, there was a few jump scares that were like, okay, so it's like a guy and he's right in their face, right? But
Yeah.
like there was a couple of them where it's just like, whoom, and I'm like, oh my god, please. Like I can appreciate a well done jump scare. Okay, there are well done jump
Yeah.
scares, but in this movie, I felt like half of them were kind of undeserved scares.
That's fair.
I think that it's because of the nature of the campiness of the movie that none of the jump scares really got me. Because like
Yeah.
I was worried, going into like any horror movie, I'm like kind of worried about it. But yeah, surprisingly, I did not get scared at all for this movie.
I'm glad you didn't.
Am
was
I
pretty-
brave?
Are you brave?
Well, you're either brave or a sicko.
Well,
I'll take it.
Yeah,
A
I'm
brave
I'm
sicko.
very easily startled by loud noises, whether it be a gunshot
too.
or a car horn or whatever.
Which is why your October streams are so enjoyable.
Yes.
Oh gosh.
But hey, that kind of leads me back to like I watched Smile 2 last year, which it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? But for me personally, I really enjoyed that, and I felt like the jump scares were kind of at least called for. There was one in that movie that I was like, okay, now that is egregious, and it's essentially, she's like in bed, and the person she's like next to like wakes up, and they just make like this loud car noise, and it startles her awake, right? And I was like, okay, it makes sense in like the context of like she's dreaming / hallucinating, but also like fuck you for making that so loud.
That movie came out a year ago already.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
It was last
I
year.
feel like it wasn't that long ago that I heard about it coming to theaters. That's crazy. Time is flying.
I enjoyed Smile 2. I liked it better than Smile 1 by a long shot. I felt like Smile 2 set up the premise better. I had better like scary moments. I felt like the whole twist of the movie was much better than the original Smile. So if you haven't watched it and you actually want a scary movie, might be the one that you
I
want
do
to
not.
check.
It sounds like Callus is gonna jump right on that.
I don't know.
Any updates?
Maybe Cal's sick side will come out and he'll actually really enjoy it.
My sicko side. It's the time for my sicko side to be awoken.
Mm-hmm.
Is there an
Thanks.
Eminem song about that?
Several.
All right, just use the lyrics of Eminem to guide you, Callus.
I mean, whenever it's Slim Shady coming out, it's basically that.
So what's the Just Callus Slim Shady? Is it because it can't be the Drama Llama? That's too goofy.
Mm. I'll have to think about it. No. I was gonna say the blue something, but like nothing sounded cool.
What did you guys think of like the main girl's background of like being on a survival compound?
I think it's a fun reveal,
Yeah.
and it
The
definitely
way Z
changes the
took it.
movie completely, in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see her instincts kicking in as soon as when the bolts started flying through the window, and you could see that
Mhm.
survival instinct kick in, and you could tell. So that was a good reveal. That was a good backstory, I feel.
Yeah.
Got
I
it.
agree.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It is after.
All right. The jammer gets turned off.
Yeah. She gets the text. They chase her around. She doubles back, kills some people. Then they tried to shoot her through the window. And then when he sends Z in after her, he turns it off. And then
Damn.
goes into the house and gets blendered.
I
Ah,
apologize.
the blender.
I apologize. I was so sure that it was before.
Yeah,
So
nope,
sure.
I
it's
mean, it
after.
makes sense. There's like so much running in and out of the house, like everything got jumbled.
Yeah, in my
Yeah.
defense, it's been like 3 days since I saw the movie, so. But
I mean, same.
not in my defense. I apologize, and you were right.
Thank you.
Well, apology accepted.
Yes. I
But why?
did-
But still,
okay.
why do you turn off the jammer? And anyway, like,
That's
don't you wanna
still
keep
doesn't
that
make
on?
sense.
Well, I think at that point he's like, "We'll finish her off," and then so they needed the cops to show up at that point, or he wanted Crispin to come back. I don't know.
Well,
It didn't
Crispin.
make sense.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because Crispin, like, as
No.
soon as he got like the bars on his phone, he was like, "Oh, it's all over." So yeah,
Yeah.
I guess it really doesn't make a lot of sense if he turned it off for Crispin to come back, because it wasn't over at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, still doesn't make sense.
Still a bit of a plot
Well,
hole, not as egregious as I
needed-
thought.
Yeah. They needed to reveal Crispin was in on it somehow.
Well,
They didn't even use their phones at all. Like so, yeah, it was 0 point to turning it off.
Well, they
Well,
tried to use.
yeah,
their
at
phones,
the
so-
beginning when the arrows were flying, they were like, "I have no signal. I always have a signal here."
No, I'm saying the killers, like the people that were in.
Oh, well, they didn't need the phones, right? They had
Yeah.
verbal communication.
Crossbows.
Yeah. Fire a crossbow bolt with a message on it.
So
They
I
had
did
enough-
want to bring up the one killer, or I guess two killers who were brothers, and then the one killer when he finds out just like flips off the rail. It's like, dude, you're killers. Like, did you not expect that this could happen? Like, people are
I mean, I
gonna
guess they
fight
didn't.
back. You're mercenaries. People die. Like, I don't know. It just seemed really out of character for a killer to get that emotional over somebody dying.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows how long they've been in this business and
Yeah.
doing it side by side, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try to defend a killer, but
Yeah. I don't know. It just felt that one felt weird to me. I was just like,
that's
okay.
fair.
Well, that's also another one of those scenes where it's like you learn something about the killer, or the one guy at least, or the two guys, and then the other guy just dies immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, did we actually need that information? Probably not. I mean, obviously it
Prob-
helps the plot move along, but you know. And look, if the plan wasn't to kill Aaron, why was the guy in the not the lamb mask? What mask did he have on? The one who died by the first one to die by Aaron.
I don't remember.
That was the wolf,
The
I believe.
Well, I thought the wolf was the last guy because he was like the most depressed. I don't know.
And the pig was the only one left.
It does. Yeah. It. I guess that doesn't really matter. But I think the main thing is that goes against like the whole idea that they were trying to like keep Aaron alive was the fact that he went for her in that one scene and like literally was trying to chop her with an axe. Unless that was
Yeah.
all just bait. But he seemed to be, he seemed to be pretty, trying pretty hard there to kill her.
Yeah. Well, at that point, had she done anything to like hurt them?
No.
Okay, because that's like it's
Because
very
it's
clear once they
it's
start getting
after
hurt.
that, because she like stabs him in the back with the, or, see now I'm getting my scenes jumbled up. I do know that like, because I believe Kate's there, right? And no, fuck, man, I am so
No, it's
lost.
just Z and Felix.
It's Z
there.
and Felix there, and he comes in and tries to throw the axe at her. I believe that she started setting up like the nail boards and stuff after that attack.
Yeah, that was after.
So she didn't. I don't think she even like, because she had the meat cleaver or whatever, and she slammed his skull in with that. So, or the meat pounder.
Hammer, the
Hammer?
meat tenderizer.
Yeah, after that point was when she just kind of started to go all
Mhm.
Sylvester Stallone, Rambo on him. So yeah, at that point she hadn't done anything, and you could make the argument that he was just trying to scare her, but I feel like maybe you would pull your punches a little bit, or
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe after the axe gets wedged into the floor, you just kind of like go, oh, I guess that was it, and you start to walk away or whatever.
Run away.
Yeah, but instead the
We'll
guy's
get you
like,
next time.
and I feel like that guy did get hit in the back with something, right? And he comes back in, or was that the guy with the cross? Yeah, that's
No, that was the brother
Oh.
who got like stabbed in the head.
no, he got
Not in the
stabbed
head, in
in
like
the
the
back,
back.
in
And
the
then
back.
yeah, and then
No, in
he
the
ran
back, yeah,
away
the
and
shoulder.
came back.
He didn't run away. He was like he ran outside, and like when he took the bolt out of his bag, he fainted,
No, that was the brother.
and they brought him.
The brother fainted.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
sorry,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was the family brother, not the murder brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the one guy just ran outside. He unwedged the bolt, the screwdriver from his back, and then when Kate ran towards the house, that's when he was like, "Oh,
She had hurt him. The guy who chased her with an axe. She stabbed him in the arm with a butcher knife.
ah,
Yeah,
yeah."
He
when
What
broke
it
through
was,
the window.
yeah.
And that's so he probably was just like, I don't care what the orders are. This bitch has gotta die.
Yeah, I can
His
appreciate
words, not mine.
I can appreciate the little like whimper that he gave out when she did that. Like kind of like a wow, that really happened sort of thing. Kind of made them seem more like they weren't professionals.
Yeah.
To me at least. But I do
Well,
like
the
the
brother
fact that
also
like
seemed like an idiot to hire them. Like he didn't
Well.
really know what the fuck he was doing. So
I mean the whole thing
No,
from the get-go was dumb. So yeah. Like let's kill our family. They'll never suspect it, especially when we ask for the
Inheritance.
an inheritance. Like so how's that get split up?
Can we get that like in a month? I no reason, but like I kind of need it soon.
I love that Crispin was trying to like entice his girlfriend by saying like maybe like an engagement. Like, bitch, do you really think she's gonna marry you after all this?
Yeah,
like
but you
after all you
engaged
burned
these
her?
nuts.
Ooh, yeah, he was talking about like a trip to Paris too, or whatever else.
Yeah.
Ah, petty.
Ugh, wild.
And also, do we need to talk about the scene where Z's creepy and wants to have sex on
Oh my
next to
God.
the
Oh, well, yeah, that was the thought
Like,
that
at
made
that
me
like,
very
I feel like
uncomfortable.
you should like, yeah, no, we're done. That's the weirdest thing you have ever said, and I don't like that. Like it
That was
doesn't
so
matter that it's my mom, that you just want to have sex next to a dead body. No. Yeah.
Goth chicks, am I right? Oh.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, we love
I
our
forgot.
goth. We love our goth chicks around here.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that was a creepy scene, but honestly, I didn't mind. Like, just because it was just like so absurd. I was like, okay. I mean, I guess this
Yeah.
makes sense. They're kind of like killing their entire family. Like, of course,
Yeah.
she's gonna be kind. Maybe, and honestly, she could have been the one who coerced Felix to talk his brother into doing this
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the vibes I got from
Yeah,
that
me
scene
too.
and towards the end as well. Also, why didn't she kill Aaron when she had the chance with that nail board? I'm
Yeah, she
pretty
should've.
sure at that point everyone else except for the older brother was dead. And if she had just smacked her in the back of the head with that nail board and took her out, they would have been golden.
Fine. Yep.
Yeah.
That's normally how it goes.
Well, she looked at the last second and she could have just kept going, but she was probably like, shit, if she notices me, she's probably too badass and will somehow
That's true.
kill me instead.
Yeah, I guess she was scared that she would fight back.
And she would have. She
Mhm.
did. So
So what was your guys' favorite death?
probably the sister.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The wire. At the
That
front
was
door?
Yeah.
that was a pretty surprising one. I wasn't expecting that. That was a good surprise.
Yeah. Good planning, I guess, on their part.
Mm-hmm.
Or was Felix the one who suggested somebody
No,
run out?
Crispin was.
Oh, okay.
Because Crispin,
Well,
Crispin was in on it too. So
yeah,
he was like, "Oh, someone should run out there."
I think
Someone should run
he
for help.
offered first to run out himself.
And then they were like, "No, you're too fat." And then then his sister was like, "I'm a track star."
I'm actually the fastest. My first thought was, she would have avoided that if she had Naruto run.
Yeah. The real track stars Naruto were
Yeah, exactly. Go right underneath the razor wire. Your arms would nick it, and you'd be like, but like, they wouldn't cut it. You know, smack your arms down a little bit and go, huh, weird. Oh well.
favorite kill. I guess the blender because it was just so
Yeah.
crazy. like, like that's the one that
Yeah.
stuck out like the most during the movie.
For sure. I do think I don't know if the logistics of it would work. Like I don't know if the blades would have gotten down close enough into his head, but
There are some old school blenders that have like the blades just sticking out a lot.
yeah, that's true.
And that
So,
house was
yeah,
old.
I did-
Yeah. I doubt that blender's been there since the house was built though.
Well,
Hey, you never know.
there might have been a butter churn in the closet. You don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I kind of like Z's just like quick stab to the head. That was great.
Yeah.
And well deserved.
There's also the photography
Oh,
killing.
that one was cool.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot about that one.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of
Just
annoyed
keep
by that
blinding
one.
them and then
That was very like Saw-esque.
yeah.
It reminded me of Saw, that one scene. But like the cameras even do that where you can just set it to take a picture like every 3 seconds.
You
like that.
can't. I think some, especially older like digital cameras, like definitely had that. I don't know if the flash would just keep going off like that, but
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of looked like a film camera.
It was digital.
yeah, it was just an old
Okay.
school digital.
All right.
You bring out the
So,
old
Yemmy,
Kodak
you think of
camera.
any?
What? A few people talk at the same time.
Sorry, I asked if Yemmy could think of a favorite, or what
He's-
least favorite.
Least favorite. Pretty much every other one. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wow.
No, my least favorite was the older brother. I just felt like it was just poor taste. Like everything going
Yeah.
on in that scene. It was the one that like really just
yeah,
I don't know. I felt like they
That-
went too far with that one.
that and the mom one was pretty bad too. Just 'cause
Yeah,
she's
the
sitting
mom
there
one
like
was
crying and
bad.
grieving over her daughter who just died, and then gets macheted in the face.
Yeah, like I said, it's like I like my disturbing movies, don't get me wrong, but I don't need to see an entire family grieving and then getting killed off and then grieving and then like I don't need to see
Yeah.
that. Maybe a bit too far for me, which is saying something because I've watched like every single Saw, every Final Destination, fucking one of my favorite horror movies is that Talk to Me movie, which is pretty disturbing in itself. Yeah. Says
feel
something,
kind of
and
proud.
maybe maybe that should be a positive for the movie, but I don't. I think it's a negative for me.
That's understandable. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so unbelievable that these two brothers would agree to like something so gruesome while they're like,
Yeah,
like-
there.
they're there like for things to happen in front of them.
Yeah, honestly, they could have like Felix and V could have just been like, "Oh, we're running late," and then they do the dinner, and everyone dies, and then they're like, "Oh my God, we found all of them dead," and then Crispin is like, "And I hid in the closet." You know?
I'm a coward.
Look, there's so many other ways they could have done this, but they did it the wrong way from the get-go.
Yeah.
I think the like whole mask, the kind of like colorless masks, kind of inherently creepy. I think I like the scenes where they're just like in the like when Kate goes to the neighbor's house and you just see the mask in the window. I think
Mhm.
that's
The
very
reflection, yeah.
effective. And then also like the guy under the bed was pretty fun.
Oh, what was up with that? Was one of them just living in the closet? I
Yeah,
guess.
he
Yeah.
was- yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing. If I come home and the door's unlocked, I search every inch of my house. You know,
Right?
sometimes it just happens where you forget to lock the door after taking the dog out or something like that, just because you have so much on your mind. If I come home and the door's open, I check every inch of this place. I don't care if it makes sense or not. I make sure to check everything. I check the crawl space just in case, because you never know. And the
Mhm.
fact that like the dad was like not even done searching the upstairs and
And he
kind of
claims he searched every room.
yeah, and then he comes downstairs like I searched every room, but no, you didn't. You didn't like, and the one place that you were like nervous about because you heard something, you don't finish the search. If he had just opened that door, he would have found the guy in there with his piss bottle. They all would have ran out, and the cops would have been called, and it would have been game over from the get go.
Yeah.
I get it. Crispin jump scared him. I get it. But when you have an inkling that something's there, do you not follow through with that inkling?
Yes, you do.
It depends on how scared you are, I guess. And he looked pretty freaked out.
I have no retort.
Yeah.
If I was a little baby bedwetter, I would too turn around. Even if it meant that my whole family dies. I don't know. Maybe he just wasn't taking his wife seriously. I don't know. But like he heard something upstairs. Like he literally heard something
Yeah.
upstairs.
Like, he should have just followed her advice, called the cops, and they're rich. The cops would have, done stuff for him.
They would have been there in 5 minutes.
That
They would
was
have brought a
really loud-
helicopter in.
Yeah.
And that was like a really loud sound too. Like didn't the chandelier like shake a little bit?
Well, that was before the husband came around, but he definitely heard something when he
Yeah,
was
like-
upstairs too. So. Like that guy, like he must have like tripped and fell over something.
He's like, oh shit, they're here. Trying to get to the closet, slips on his sleeping bag, piss jar goes all over his face. He's just like, I hope no
Okay.
one finds me like this.
All right, I changed my mind. I think the sequel needs to be the same story, but from the killer's point of view.
I don't want to see a killer piss in a bottle.
Yeah, here's the uncut version: 5 hours of the killer pissing into a bottle.
For 3 days, going, man, when are they going to get here? I
Why-
murdered their neighbors like 3 days ago.
Yeah. Where's the other guys at? What the fuck's going on?
Did they forget about my birthday? Like what?
Yes, Steve. Everyone forgets about your birthday. No one cares. We're killers.
Mom always liked you best.
Oh, also, they should have waited to start killing people until after they ate their big meal, because people don't move as fast when after a large meal.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
is true.
And wine too. They could have gotten them all drunk, fed up on food. Honestly, why didn't they just like kill them in their sleep?
Right?
Like what?
That's another yeah.
That would have been so much
Like
better.
you did say, there's like many better ways to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have made for maybe as long of a movie, but it definitely would have made more sense.
It'd be a very boring movie, but yeah.
Well, should we do final thoughts and rating?
I think it's about that time.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else have anything want to say? Speak now.
Will forever hold your peace until the review.
Yeah, until your review goes.
Until you put your piece in the bottle.
Start us off, Ray.
So I still really thoroughly enjoyed this movie, given, the not so great acting. I love how the big twist for me wasn't even at the end. It was just the fact that she was a survivalist and that she was able to kick ass the entire time. Love that for her. So I give this movie a 4 out of 5
All right.
for that alone.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't have fun with the movie. I thought there was plenty of fun to go around. I thought that it was a bit over the top with its premise, which I guess makes it more effective as a horror movie, but also just kind of like I don't really want to watch it ever again because of the fact that like it's over the top and disturbing, like the whole family aspect. I think the scene with the older brother dying was kind of what broke the camel's back there. But I mean, I can appreciate the no, the good soundtrack, had some good kills in there, had great practical effects. Some of the framing and cinematography I enjoyed. Yeah, but yeah, the acting fell flat in most areas. The writing pretty bad. The plot I have issues with. And I hate Crispin's name, so 2.5 out of 5.
Well then, I pretty much agree with what Amy said, but I did find some enjoyment out of this movie.
He loves Crispin. I knew it.
No, he just loves the name.
Well, I mean, you say the Crispin's a bad name. What about Callus? Like, what kind of name is that? More like Cal Ass, am I right?
Didn't you name yourself?
Anyways,
It's like,
yes, I
Alice, why did you do that to yourself?
That's just like a gamer tag, right?
Anyways, yes. But yeah, I also agree that I probably would not have the desire to watch this movie again. I do agree that, like, there was a lot of plot holes. The story was, kind of blah, and the only thing cool was, like the some cool scenes, like setups and like some of the kills. But that's pretty much it. I would give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Yay.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, at first I was like, I don't know if I like this movie, but then when she starts kicking ass, I was like, okay, this is better. I definitely don't think I'd ever watch it again. But besides my scrubbing through live here on this episode, yeah, like I think, like I said, I think the music was effective, for the most part, and acting was fine, especially for a bunch of no names. Yeah, I think I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
I'll take it.
All right.
Alright,
And the
Cal.
average for this movie, Your Next, from 2011, is 3.25.
All
Nice.
right. Good work, Cal Ass.
Nice.
All right, time to get to the part of the show where we go over some small recommendations. Can be a movie, can be a show, can be a whatever. I would like to start this off because I watched Final Destination Bloodlines Day 2 that it came out. And I, as a person who enjoys the Final Destination movies, I thought it was pretty good. Probably top 3 out of the series. A lot of the movies are fun. But this one, I think it had some. I think the one thing that really pulled this one back was I think the effects weren't that great, even compared to like the third movie. But I enjoyed the twists and turns of this one, and also this was Tony Todd's final movie, and they gave him permission to just kind of like say whatever he wanted in his last scene, and it was very moving, and that was just a very genuine and touching moment. Rest in peace, Tony Todd. But yeah, I like, it's not my favorite Final Destination, but like I said, it's like top 3, because I would do like it. Battling for first place is like Final Destination 5 or 2. I like those ones the best. When I go back and think about it, I do really like 3, even though I gave it a pretty low score. I got to rewatch that one. But I like, it's either like at the third spot, it's either number 3 or Bloodlines. And then there's like a huge gap for the Final Destination, which is the 4th movie, because that one just absolutely sucks ass. But the rest are like fun movies, and Bloodlines continued the fun trend. Some nice kills, some fun kills in there, the decent plots, and yeah, just overall enjoyable.
Nice.
I guess I could go next. There's a movie that I watched a few weeks ago, and I keep forgetting to do a review on Yemmy server, so I guess I'll do a short review now.
All right.
But I watched. It's called Cedric and Omar: If This Ever Gets Weird.
I've heard of that.
It's basically it's basically a rockumentary based on the two artists behind the Mars Volta, which is one of my favorite bands. And I guess I would really only recommend it to like fans of the Mars Volta because like it's a very weird movie. It's like unlike any other rockumentary I've ever seen, where basically like the entire movie is just raw footage of Omar's, because he's been like self-documenting his life ever since he was like a kid. Like he just loves cameras and film, so he just records everything at all times. He literally has thousands of hours of footage, and so the movie was put together from that footage. But the entire time all this footage is playing, which is also like they distort it at times, and sometimes they put like superimpose footage over other footage, and everything is just looks very psychedelic at all times. But Omar and Cedric are like kind of talking throughout the whole, the whole time, just telling the whole experience of like when they met, when the band was formed, when After Driving was formed, their kind of gripes with that, why everything fell apart and they formed Mars Volta, and the journey through that. And they went through like so many perils, like drug abuse and stuff, and loss of friends. They've gone through so much together. And then like what happened between them two falling out back in like 2013, and then them just like not talking or doing anything for years and years, and like the lengths that Omar had to go through to get his best friend back and then get them back together. Like it's astounding. I got emotional just watching it. And yeah, like as a fan of Mars Volta, like everything just meant a lot, and everything just connected with me and made so much sense to me, and I really enjoyed it. But for someone else that doesn't know Mars Volta, yeah, I don't see any reason to watch this. But yeah, that's my small recommendation. Very small recommendation, only to Mars Volta fans.
Small recommendation ish.
Very small recommendation. The
Very
smallest.
niche. It's a niche recommendation.
I mean, I guess you can still watch it if you want to just watch something psychedelic.
Of course, yeah. Anyone else?
Well, I got nothing.
All right. Ray?
I had one and I don't remember it.
Well,
So
if you remember it while we're going through the ending, you can just blurt it out.
I highly doubt I'll remember it. But
It's
yeah.
okay.
I don't
Yep.
know. I don't know.
That's all right. I will go ahead and reveal the winner for the fan vote.
Oh yeah.
And it was actually a surprise win here because I was really expecting Spy Kids 3D to take this one. But
Dang it.
we are going to be watching XXX from 2002, directed by Rob Cohen. And no, this is not a porno. This is a movie helmed or led by Vin Diesel.
Family.
And he is playing a character named Xander Cage. Talk about dumb names. Xander Cage is your standard adrenaline junkie with no fear and a lousy attitude. When the U.S. government recruits him, in quotation marks, to go on a mission, he's not exactly thrilled. His mission, to gather information on an organization that may just be planning the destruction of the world, led by the nihilistic Yorgi. And this stars Vin Diesel, Asia
Family.
Argento, Morton Skokas, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Roof, and many more. This was recommended by Player 2P2, our Welsh fan. So we'll see if we can get him on the podcast and he can pronounce these names.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's from 2002. If you want to check that out and not be spoiled, or if you want to join the conversation, make sure you watch that before the next episode airs in 2 weeks. And of course, if you want to be just like Player 2 and get your movie reviewed on the podcast, make sure you give us a fan recommendation at the places that I told you to, on YouTube, Discord, or you can send us an email at ff.filmfreaks@gmail.com. Okay. Was there anything that I forgot?
I don't think so.
No.
All right.
Nope.
Nope.
One episode late, Callus.
Oh yes, I did forget something. The next fan vote episode is going to be episode 150 of the podcast, which means we won't be doing a fan vote. We will be deciding on a trilogy or a duology or something of the like to review
Something
for
special.
a big, special episode.
That's right.
We will reveal what those movies are going to be next time. No, not next time, but next Ray episode we'll review what those movies are. So get hyped. Get hyped.
So hyped.
All right. 150 episodes, 4 years of the podcast now. We're doing pretty good.
4 seasons.
4 seasons, yeah. Hopefully we can
Let's
stay
do
on season
season
4
movie.
until 150. Actually, let me look how many movies we've watched. Although I'm not up to date on this list. I need to add some of the. Oh, and of course, Letterboxd signed me out, didn't they?
Well,
Jerks.
I signed
probably about
them?
150.
No. Well,
I'm just saying because there's been times we've watched trilogies and stuff. So
yeah, we're pretty close to 100. I think we're at like 148 because I think I haven't added the last 2 movies to this list, but yeah, we're almost to 150 movies for 150 episodes. Who could have guessed?
yeah,
We'll hit 150 before 150 because we've watched some extras. Also,
Yeah.
there was the little oopsie daisy where I numbered like number 20 twice, so there's a little
That's
bit
true,
off.
that's one extra.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one time where like we watched 2 movies about what was it, the toxic mutants ones?
Chud.
Weren't there 2 of them?
Yeah, there was 2. That was a
Yes, Chud.
Halloween special.
Did we did both in one episode?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Well,
another
we've also
thing.
done all 3 Back to the Future movies episode or in one episode.
But those were
Jurassic
individual
Park,
episodes.
yeah.
So.
No, I thought they were.
Yeah, they were all done in one episode. That was
Yeah, that was the
number
100.
50, 100.
Oh yeah.
100 was Jurassic Park. That's when Callus originally said, "See ya, suckers."
Yes.
Walked out the door.
And then I can't remember. I think Lord of the Rings ones.
They were
each
separate.
That's the one I was
They were
thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah,
those were
yeah.
separate.
So I thought those were separate.
Greedy started the trend, and y'all
We just kept going
picked
with
it up. Yeah. And Police Story, all those movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, all those were separate. 4 of them.
And we still didn't finish the series.
There's many more.
Callus, quick thoughts on the new Karate Kid movie coming out with Jackie Chan.
I don't know about this. It's all weird. Because the Jackie Chan Karate Kid from a decade or 2 ago, whenever it was
With Will Smith.
not even.
Kid. It was
Yes,
bad.
with Jaden Smith. I didn't think it was that bad, but
I
also
mean-
that was not karate, that was kung fu, so that didn't make
Mhm.
sense. And now like these 2 worlds are coming in together. I don't know. I feel very
Yeah.
weird about it, but we'll see.
They should either call it the Kung Fu Kid then, if it's Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, all right. I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with.
Careless.
Hey,
Ray.
You there? Wake up! And this
I know.
is.
by just saying hey, I know.
I was so taken aback.
Also, I don't know why I said my name kind of weird. Also, so, I don't-
It
Just one of those
inspired me to say
episodes.
it weird.
it's because like I was gonna bring up the mask again, but I forgot what animal I chose. But red
Red
panda, of
panda.
course.
Come
Red
on.
panda.
Your favorite animal.
Yeah. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask. The red panda mask, that is.
The blue red panda mask.
And this has been another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Thank you for listening. So long.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Your next episode of the podcast will be in 2 weeks. See you then. Nailed it.
Nailed
That was
it.
That's nice.
awesome.
I like that.